Hello everybody, this is SoundWave. In this video we're going to go over how to open your star map and choose a destination, toggling your quantum drive, doing a quantum jump, discussing planetary markers, and how to do a planetary spine jump using your quantum drive. So let's get started. So here we are, we're going to be on the surface of Selene, which is kind of a deserted kind of planet. And we're at one of the hydro farms, just so we can have like a starting destination, and it's not something that you would normally see, like for instance Port Olisar, just to give you some variety. In addition to that, I'm also going to be in the Saber Raven, which is a stealth fighter. So it has a low IR signature, so when scanning everything gets a little bit fully fledged, it's going to be a lot harder for other people to see my ship. So let's go ahead and get off the surface here. So I'm going to hold down space. Oh, almost forgot. I have to turn on the engines. There we go. Now let's go ahead and take off. This one goes a little bit fast because this is a fighter ship. So it's meant to go fast and pew pew and all that other stuff. So we're going to get up to a good angle. And we are going to get out of this area. You can see a nice little thing that would be a screenshot opportunity normally. And we're going to get out of here. Get off the surface. And get into space. So, what we're going to do is we're going to first use the star map. And the star map is the thing that kind of has a graphical 3D display of everything in the known universe. So for right now, that's really just this major solar system. Right now, that's Crusader and its moons. Later on, especially in October, it's going to be including ArcCorp and Hurston, which are two more planets, and they're going to have their own moons. So it's going to be a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and slow down, and let's pull up our star map. Now, the way that you pull up the star map is you hit F2, and that pulls up your Mobiglass, which is something that we'll get into later. But for right now, that is your star map. So if you want to move the map around, you left click and drag in whatever direction. If you want to zoom out, you roll back on the mouse wheel. Zoom in, you roll in on the mouse wheel. If you want to see something closer, like for instance this comma right here, if we double click it, it will zoom in, and we can again move it around in 3D space by left clicking and dragging. And then we can zoom back out if we want to. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out for the entire solar system. So this is the known system, and you have Crusader and its three moons, Daymar, Yela, and Selene. And if we scroll out a little bit more, you can see Delamar, which technically is not supposed to be here. It actually belongs in another solar system, but they kind of brought it in so they could build it up as a secondary kind of area. So that's where Levski is. And if we pull back even further, you actually see the sun Stanton, and you'll see the planet Hurston, and it will have its own moons, and ArcCorp, and it will have its own moons. I don't believe it's going to show anything that's on it though, or any of the moons, because that's coming in 3.3, so that's not going to be there just yet. Yeah, there's nothing there yet. But it's coming in a few weeks, in about a month. So, we're going to go back over to Crusader, because that's where majority of our stuff is, and we're going to go over to Yela, because we're currently on Selene. We've been to Daymar for the ship controls video. So we're going to go over and head over to Yela. So all you have to do is just click on the destination you want to go to. Click on set destination down here in the bottom left corner. And then hit F2 again. And what you'll notice is on your screen, if we go over here, we have a little thing that says yellow. And you'll notice that the calibration screen for the quantum drive already came up, and it's finished calibrating. You have to wait for that to hit 100% and say ready. If you hit B on your keyboard, it will spool up your quantum drive. And then once it says spooling complete, you hold B, and it will start the quantum jump. And this is always the fun stuff when you're going faster than light and everything. So this is all the yummy graphics there. And this helps you get from point A to point B really fast, so over long distances. So that is always helpful. And Yella has a asteroid belt around it, so just keep aware of that. Now when you come out of a quantum jump, you're automatically going to be going the highest 100 speed you have, 100% speed. This is not including the afterburner, it's just the max regular speed of your vehicle, so just be aware that you might have to slow down or stop, especially if you're going to a particular thing, like if you go to Cryastro or something like that. You're going to be relatively close to what you're actually dropping out of a quantum jump at, so that could not be good. Alright, so here we are at Yella, and what we want to do is we want to get to a place on the planet. An easy way to do that is by using the planetary spline jumping. And what that is basically you pick a point that's on the planet, and in this case a moon, and then you will quantum jump to it, but you will quantum jump around. As in, like, for instance, if there's a place on the other side of the moon that we want to go to, we choose that, and it will make the ship quantum jump a small distance, but it'll go around the moon to the other side and position the nose of the ship to the destination that we want to go to. So we're going to hit B to pull up a list of points, and you can see it's already trying to do that stuff, but here we go. You have the ArcCorp mining area. I know you can barely see that, but and if the ship wasn't so agile, it could stay in one spot and we can actually read stuff. Let's see if we can keep it. There we go. So you can see ArcCorp mining area 157. It's 1,000 kilometers away, which usually means if it's over 400 kilometers, that usually means it's on the other side of the planet. So we've already have the spool up because we hit B, because that toggles the quantum drive, and the calibration is already done. So we're just going to do what we did before on how we got to Yella, and we're just going to hold B, and we're going to watch this thing kind of go spastic. They're working on that right now. But you're going to watch as we move around the planet to get to the other side. And this saves so much time, because the way you had to do it before is you had to use orbital markers that were positioned around the planet, and you had to keep jumping and turning off your drive and jumping some more and all that other stuff. It was not fun. So this is way better than what it used to be. Believe me. So the animations are still kind of and it's something that they're aware of. It's something that they're actually going to be working on. So hopefully in 3.3 it actually looks a little bit more legit. Now you see that it has that orange little marker there. Little diamond marker. That is the destination that we're trying to go to. So we're already going 275 meters per second. We're going to use our afterburner to get closer to the surface. And I'm not going to bore you with getting to the actual ground. So I'm going to leave it here, and we're going to speed it up, and I'm going to come back once we're actually there. So here we are. We're near the mining facility. We're going to throw out our landing gear to kind of slow down by pressing the N key. And that's going to give us a little bit more finer control of how we actually approach this. But this is a little landing area, little mining facility. And man, those headlights look good because it used to be broken as hell and you could barely see anything. So if you want to have your headlights turned on and off, you can toggle that with the number 5 at the top of your keyboard. That looks beautiful because it used to be that you couldn't see squat. So I'm so glad that they fixed that. Alright, so let's line up here. You can see that I'm hitting the 0 mark on the heads-up display right in the middle. This happens whenever you get into an atmosphere. It will give you a kind of 0 marker for the ground. It's not always 100%, but it's close enough. So we already have our landing gear out. And I'm going to free look to see if there's any kind of obstacles in my way. And I'm going to go ahead and land. Now with this one, because it's a pretty fast vehicle, I kind of have to tap this really slowly, because otherwise it's going to slam into the ground. And I don't want to slam into the ground. So it looks like I'm right above, and smooth landing. Alright, so let's get out of free look. Let's turn off our engines. There we go. And it's going to softly hit the ground. Now I'm going to leave the vehicle on, like I said before. I'm going to turn off that light because that's like blinding sunlight right there. And I'm going to hold down H to get out of the vehicle. And I'll kind of show you, kind of as a little bonus here, what one of these little facilities kind of looks like. And these are dotted throughout all of the moons and eventually all the planets. We can't land on Stanton, which I can't really... I'm sorry, Crusader, which is next to Port Olisar because it's a gas giant. So there is no surface. So we're going to go up to this and we're going to left click to open. Maybe? There we go. Hey, I was trying to get in there. Okay. And this is an airlock. This is a different kind of airlock, so it's kind of good that we went here so you can kind of know it. Of course, you had to hit this little panel in order to cycle it. And now we are inside one of the facilities. I don't think any of these open. I'm not entirely sure what this is for, but you can see that it has different things on it, like the little suits and boots and everything. There's a lot of detail in this kind of stuff. And they've just put it here, and it doesn't really do anything at the moment. But it's very nice looking. You can kind of look outside, see the other things across the way. But they did put a lot of detail. They did put pay a lot of attention to things. So there's a lot of things that are just dotted around, like they have their version of New York. And what it's supposed to look like in the future. Terra. There's another planet, another solar system, and everything that they haven't put in yet. Shiny stuff that I don't know what it is, but it's very shiny. They have like all sorts of stuff, little posters, these are cards, but there's also like little post-it notes and little pieces of food and condiments and just all sorts of stuff. So these are kind of interesting to just go in and kind of explore. What is that thing? That's a magazine. Yeah, there's just all sorts of stuff to kind of look at, and they're, like I said, they're literally all around all of the planets, all of the moons, and there's just all sorts of stuff to take a look at. They did put a lot of care into it and a lot of details, and each place is a little bit different. They're not always the same, and there's plenty to look at, and there's more coming. So, I mean, this is one of 3 moons, and with a planet that's right next to Port Olisar, and they actually have 2 more planets with 3 or 4 moons apiece coming on top of that. So yeah, they're adding a lot of content, and this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. Altogether, they're supposed to have about 110, 120 different solar systems. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you support the series, and I'll see you in the next video.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them scream?